Hello, Home Instead team. I'm Chaplain Robert Terrell, and this is your October 23rd, 2023 Monday Motivator. I've been told by some of you that you consider my Monday Motivators the weather report for central Wisconsin because if it's not really messy and wet, I'm typically outside. And as you can tell, I'm inside today, which means it's raining in central Wisconsin. That's neither here nor there. Instead, I want to talk to you about my project this past weekend. I did flooring in my house. I enjoy doing projects around the home, and I prepare for them and then I work on them. And the project this weekend was installing some hardwood floor in an upstairs hall. I thought I had calculated what I would need correctly. You know the old saying, measure twice and cut once? Well, I had measured and realized that we had enough planks left over from doing our living room that we should be able to do the hall too. And I calculated what was necessary multiple times. But somehow I completely miscalculated. I need to buy an entire new box of the material necessary when I thought I would have not just enough, but more than enough. I failed in my calculations. And it reminded me of the fact that, well, we all fail at one time or another. And it's real easy to think of failure as a noun. But the reality is it's typically a verb in our lives. Now, those of you who are grammar nuts, you're going to go ahead and say, but failure is a noun sometimes, as in this was our failure. But what I'm meaning here instead is that so often when we fail, we're tempted to think that we are failures. But I'm not a failure because I miscalculated how much wood I would need there. The reality is it didn't really cause me any harm. It's going to take a week or two for me to get the correct planks here. And our hallway won't be finished for a week or two. But the reality is what I've done thus far looks wonderful. And I'm not a failure in and of myself. I just made a mistake. But it's so tempting for us to see those mistakes and think, I am a failure. When we think that, it keeps us from being able to correct the mistakes. It keeps us from being able to do better in the future because we're so beaten down by the fact that we take our failures and we make them into us being failures rather than just recognizing we made a mistake. When we make a mistake and we recognize that it's just a mistake, we have the option to correct it at that point because it's not about who we are. So what I hope you remember is that in your life, failure is not a noun. It's not about who you are. It's just something that happens to you. It's an opportunity to correct things. It's an opportunity to admit our mistakes. But it's how you respond to the failure that says who you are. It's not the failure itself. I would love to hear about how you've had failures in your life and they have been used in your life for you to have a chance to correct something. I would love to hear how you remember who you really are, what really gives you meaning in life. My contact information is always at the end of these videos. If you remember nothing else from these videos, what I hope you remember is this. Our CEO, God, cares for you, and so do I. And I hope your projects, well, I hope you always have enough material.